Here's a list of the important keyboard shortcuts in Excel that you should know. So some of these you might already be in the habit of using, but you will also learn the other stuff. Okay. The only thing I don't recommend is this Control-Home, Control-N. We don't use this much, and it's harder to do on the laptop. On the laptop, you gotta do something different. So this you don't need to worry about, but the other ones you should learn and use. Okay, so I want to just do a little bit of review with you. I'm not gonna cover everything, but I'll try to cover more important things. Okay, so keyboard shortcuts. Using the Control Shift to select is a very handy thing that we use a lot. So let's say I'm here. I want to select the entire column to the end of the data. So I hold down Control Shift, or if that doesn't work for you on Mac, then you want to do Command Shift, right? So try Control first, and if it doesn't work, usually the Command works in Mac. Okay, so I'm holding down Control and then holding down Shift, and then I use the down arrow. Now I have selected the entire column, and then now I could do something with it. I could say Control C or Command C to copy, and I could go somewhere else, and then I could do paste, Control V or Command V, and so now I have already copied the entire column here. Okay, so that kind of operation we're going to do a lot, so you should so use the shortcut. So don't do this, don't go scroll. That takes time, right? And then if you have to do this a lot, then it's better to do it use a shortcut. Okay, and then selecting the entire current data region. So what do I mean by data region? That means this rectangle of data. So I click anywhere here, and then do Control A. If that doesn't work, do Command A. Now I've selected the entire thing. Now I could do something with it. Now I could do something with that. Okay, so that's something we use all the time. Selecting the entire data region, and then selecting, and then kind of navigating. So if I'm here at the top and I want to go to the end of the column, then you could just use a Control down arrow. So Control down arrow, and I'm at the end, and then I can go up arrow, I'm at the top. And then, of course, I could use the left and right arrows to go to the left, and then go to the right, and so forth. Okay, and I could use the Shift to select to like the next cell, and so forth. Shift, hold down Shift, and then use a down arrow. So like that, and I select all 4 cells. So of course, I could do it with the mouse. And first, I could do the mouse like this. So I'm not sure if you save that much time. Changing rows, change rows, freeze panes. Okay. So deleting rows, inserting rows, and so forth. So you should know how to do those things. I think most of you probably know that already, but let me go over it anyway. So let's see, delete the rows for Betsy and Kyle. Okay, so Betsy and Kyle, where are they? 4th and 5th names. So you were here. So, right, so you could just do select the rows like this, right, and then do the Control click or right mouse click or 2-finger click, and to get that contextual menu, then you could select delete. Okay, so now those guys are gone. And I want to add 2 blank rows in their place. That is, between Chris and Irene, I want to put 2 blank rows. Where's Chris and Irene? Is over here. So by default, it would put the blank rows above the row where you're at. Right? So if I want to put 2 blank rows between Chris and Irene, I should click on the Irene's row. Actually, I should click on select both Irene and Ada. And so this is telling me Excel, I want to insert 2 rows. And where do I want to insert 2 rows? I want it just above Irene. Just above Irene. So again, the right mouse on the menu. And then I could do insert to quickly insert the rows. Okay, and then hiding and unhiding, that's also important. And so hide the rows is for Sergio and Boris. Okay, so these guys, maybe I want to hide them. Then right click and then hide. Okay, if I want to unhide them, then I do just unhide. So if I want to unhide, I see there's rows hidden here. So I select the border rows. So row 12 and row 15 together. Then I could do unhide like this. So I got Sergio this back. Okay, and another thing that I use all the time, one of the basic things, is the freezing panes. The thing is, like, if you have a large table, and you scroll down, okay, now I don't know what the headings are. I don't know the column headings are here, so I have to go, what does this mean? What is this? Okay, let's go back over here, and what is that? Oh, that's February. That's a February number. Okay, that's February number. That's what it is. But it's better if I could just freeze these guys, the column headings, so that no matter how much I scroll down, I should be able to see the column headings. So what I could do is, I could do, click on the first row that I don't want to freeze. So I want to freeze the other stuff. Above this row, I want to freeze. So I select this row, okay, just above what I want, just below what I want to freeze, and then I go over to View, and then Freeze Panes, and then Freeze Panes, and then Freeze Panes. So now I could scroll down to my heart's content, and I could still see, the column headings. And now there's also other options, like if you want to freeze the top row, then if you have column headings in the top row over here, then you could just use freeze top row. And now also you could freeze the first column. Let's say if your row headings, these were in the first column, then you could use the first column. But in this case, it's not. It's in the second. These names are in the second column, and the column headings are not in the top. So I have to use something different. Now, suppose I want to freeze both of these, both the column headings and then the row heading. Row headings. Then I could again use freeze panes. So then I would choose the cell at the corner of the data. So I would choose this one. Okay, and then this will get Excel to freeze the column to the left of it and rows to above it. Okay, so then you try that. Now, of course, I already froze something, so I have to unfreeze first. So I got unfreeze first to do the next freeze panes. So now I have unfreeze. So now I select the cell, and then go over to freeze panes, and then freeze panes. Okay. So now I have frozen both the column headings and the row headings. So if I could keep scrolling, I could still I could scrolling down, and so I could see both sets of the labels. Okay. So let's go over to the third one. So we'll be using this a lot, the relative versus the absolute references. Okay, so first let's take a look at what this is. We got the month here, we got the revenues, we have the cost, and then we have some blank columns for us to fill in. Okay. Total revenue and total cost for the year. And what function do you use for the total? Sum. Okay, so let's go sum, and then select these. Okay. Okay, and so this is a sum of this, this column. Okay, now I want the sum of a cost. Instead of entering sum, I could just copy this down and copy this across, right? So I could just take the formula, drag it to the right, and that gives me the sum, for the cost. So that saves me time, right? So if I want the same formula over and over, I could just drag it, right? So I go over to the bottom right, and then I drag the thing. Now, what about the average? I could use what function? average. So average of the revenues. And then again, I could select it, go to the bottom right, and then drag it to the right to get the average cost. Okay, and let's say I want to get the profit for each month. Profit, we're going to just subtract the cost from the revenue. So I'm going to go B2 minus C2. So there is my profit for January. So what this is saying is B2. B2 means I'm in cell B2. I'm in cell B2, and B2 means I gotta go 2 places to the left. So go 2 columns to the left, and then stay in the same place. So that's B2. And C2 is go 1 place to the one left, 1 column to the left. So that's what this is saying. Now if I take this, now I could just copy this down, and it's going to follow the same pattern. Right? So here you could see now it's in a row 3. So it goes 2 places to the left, and then minus 1 place to the left. So it's relative reference. So based on where the cell is, it's going to do the same thing. Okay. So it's a relative location. Okay. Now about the after-tax profit. After-tax profit. Okay. Let's see. How do you get the after-tax profit? What is the tax rate? So what is the tax? Tax is 30% times the profit, right? So 30% times the profit, that's the tax. That's the tax you pay. So after tax, profit is profit minus the tax. Minus the tax, so it's 30% times the profit. Right? So original profit minus the tax you pay. Okay, so that's that. So now I can put this in here. So here I'm going to go equal to this number minus and 30% times the profit like this, but you don't want to put the 30% in here. So the best practice is not to actually put a number in the formula, but refer to the cell that has a number. So instead of doing it this way, I want to just click on this cell, select the tax rate cell, B19, and then times the profit, like this. And so now let's see what would happen. So if I go and then copy this down, and in this way, okay, so here after-tax profit is lower than the profit, but the other ones, I'm not paying any taxes after that. So here I can see, now instead of referring to 30%, now it's referring to the blank cell, because when I copy this down, right, so reference to this cell is going to also move. It's also going to go down. So what you want to do is, you want to fix this B19. Lock this B19 so that it doesn't move, it doesn't change to B20, B21, and so forth. So what you want to do is you put $. So $, means don't change. Keep it at B19. So $B, $19. Then, and then if you copy it down, then you will see that now these numbers are less than these numbers. So what did I just do? Because this is so important, I'm going to repeat it here. And okay, so here is what I typed. This is what I typed in here. Okay, and another thing is there's a shortcut for this. Shortcut for these $. So I could go. Okay, let me do this again. So here I'm going to go profit minus this thing. As soon as I select the 30%. I could hit the function key F4. So function key F4, so it's here. You hold down the function key and then hit F4. So on your laptop, usually right, you need to hold down the function key. So that will automatically enter those $signs for you, so you're going to save time. Okay, so after you select it, and then you hit the F4, and then you continue with the formula like this, and then you could copy it down into here.